I like making videos that cover a wide range of topics related to Vietnam. Today's a bit of a rainy day, so I figured it's a good time to recap some of my recent videos. I'll give you the key points and answer a lot of the main questions that I've been getting. Let's start with housing, because that applies to everybody. Most people, when you come to Vietnam, you're gonna be renting, of course, but there is the option to buy property here. I'll cover that quickly. I did a video on what that process looks like. Foreigners are not able to buy land or houses in Vietnam, but you can buy condos. The prices are probably a little bit higher than you might expect. You're looking at close to 200,000 up to 400,000 or 500,000 US dollars for a nice 2-bedroom right on the beach. So maybe as an investment, or if you're sure you're gonna live in Vietnam for a long time, could be a good idea, but most people are gonna be renting. A lot of people have been mentioning that there might be too many foreigners showing up to Da Nang lately, and that might make the prices for everything go up. That's definitely true. There's a lot more foreigners here than ever, and prices have been on the rise. But that doesn't mean you still can't find a great deal on a place to live. This is a good time to mention my travel group that I have here in Da Nang. I've already helped hundreds of people that have moved here. And when you first arrive, I'll hook you up with a good housing agent that can show you around. There's been a lot of people lately with budgets of about 400 or 500 US dollars. Everyone's been able to find a nice place that they like within a couple days. So check out the group if you're coming to Da Nang. I'll help you find a place quickly. Just for reference, I pay less than $500 a month for a 3-bedroom house, but I'm over in the city side of Da Nang, further away from the beach. So if you're willing to get out of the main areas by the beach where everyone wants to stay, you can still find some really good deals. I'm gonna be moving to a new house in a couple weeks. I don't wanna get cocky here. I really lucked out and found another great place. So I'm gonna do some videos talking about how to negotiate, what to look for in the contracts, everything you wanna be checking before you move into a new place. I'll give you all the secrets how I keep finding these great deals. Talking about dating in Vietnam. So I just sat down with a friend of mine who had been here in Da Nang for a few months, and we talked about what kind of success he had in the dating game here. And he had some interesting things to say. First of all, he said he didn't have a whole lot of luck. The hookup culture here is not really a thing. Vietnamese girls like to kind of commit to long term. Most girls are not gonna be interested if you're just here for a short trip or even a few months. There are apps like Tinder and Badoo and Bumble that people use here, but it's probably not gonna be your best route. You're much better off meeting people in person, and my friend mentioned that as well. Just by sparking up casual conversations along the beach, he was able to make some connections that way. He was really surprised because for a couple first dates, he thought he was going on a date with a girl, but it turned out to be a group date. So she would invite a couple of her friends with, and this is a very common thing in Vietnam. They'll invite you out with a group of friends, maybe for a hot pot or a street barbecue. They really want to get to know you and be more comfortable with you before you get into the dating part of it. Plenty more we could talk about with dating, but I think we'll leave it at that for now. If you've watched enough of my videos, you probably know that I like to have a couple drinks. People always ask me where are my favorite spots to drink and also where to watch sports. So I did a video where I talked about my 3 favorite sports bars. Scallywags is my go-to. They'll put on any sports event you can imagine. So if you want to watch the rugby, AFL, hockey, basketball, whatever you're into, it's gonna be on there. Another great reason to join my travel group is we've got discounts all over town, including Scallywags. So if you're drinking a couple beers every weekend, it's gonna add up, you'll save some money. Another good spot is Dirty Fingers, and there's plenty of more options besides these 2. Those are just my favorites. If you're coming to Da Nang, you're not gonna have a hard time finding a drink. I'm gonna do a video really soon checking out the best beach bars in Da Nang. So a couple really nice spots right on the water. So if you're not already, subscribe to the channel, keep an eye out for that one. The next thing we've got to talk about is visas. So again, just the key points here. Most people are going to be on a 90-day tourist visa. You have to leave the country every 90 days. If you pay a visa agent a little bit extra, you can return in the same day if you wanted to. So the way I do it, I usually fly round trip to Bangkok and back in the same day. The total price for flights and the visa is about $225. There's been some talk of some new visa options that will be coming soon, but nothing officially announced yet. When anything changes, I'll let you know. But for now, the same day visa runs are the best option for most people. The most recent video I did was about pet culture in Vietnam. Do people here still eat dogs? And is it safe to bring a pet if you're moving here? So the short answer is yes, Vietnamese people still eat dogs and cats, but it's mostly common up in the north of Vietnam. I've never seen it anywhere in Da Nang. This is a cultural thing that goes back thousands of years in Vietnam and lots of other countries in Asia. So it's not something we should be judging them harshly on. The culture is quickly changing, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it disappear altogether eventually. But for now, it is safe to have a pet here, and it's pretty easy to bring a dog or a cat if you're moving to Vietnam. One thing I find really interesting is how Vietnamese people feel about Americans, especially after the American War. Well, it's been 50 years now, and for the most part, everyone has moved on. Vietnam's in a great place right now. Everybody's happy where they're at and excited about the future. In my 6 years living in Vietnam, I haven't had a single negative interaction with anybody just because I'm American. Vietnamese people welcome everyone from all over the world, so wherever you come from, you should feel comfortable coming here and know that you'll be welcomed when you get here. Vietnam is very proud of their country and they want to show it off to the rest of the world. One of the cons of living in Vietnam is going to be the pollution. In the big cities like Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, it's really terrible and it's going to negatively affect your quality of life. I lived in Hanoi for 4 years, and one of the main reasons I had to leave was because of the air pollution. In Da Nang, it's not nearly as much of a problem. There are days here and there. If the wind patterns are not right and there's burning out in the countryside on the farms, but the pollution never sticks around more than a day or two. It's honestly not something that I worry about on a daily basis, just something I wanted to bring attention to. If you're into golf, apparently Vietnam is one of the best destinations for golf in all of Asia. I don't know anything about golf. I've never played a game in my life, but I sat down with my good buddy who's really into the golf scene here. He explained to me that there's 4 or 5 world-class golf courses, all within a half hour of Da Nang. Again, the prices might be a little bit higher than you would expect for Vietnam. You're looking at ballpark $150 US for a round, but it seems to still be really good value for what you're getting. There's a spot called Ba Na Hills, about an hour outside of Da Nang. It's kind of like a theme park at the top of a mountain. It's one of the most popular touristy things to do here. There's a lot of mixed information out there. Some people say it sucks, it's too crowded, it's not worth your time. Other people love it. I went one time with my girlfriend and a buddy of mine that was visiting, and I gotta say, we all loved it. There's a brewery at the top of the mountain and they give you a lot of free beer for some reason. So we caught a buzz, just walked around, did some silly rides. It's a great way to kill a day. So if you're on the fence, I would say check it out. I think that covers a lot for now. I hope it was helpful. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.